Hey, we're Polaris. My name is Rick.
And I'm Jamie, and you're watching Metalshop TV. I don't know if it's more pressure, but you know, when you're playing to like crowds of this size, like, you know, there's always like a confidence that there's going to be, you know, a certain amount of people that know who we're about, but also there's that kind of sense that we need to get out there and kind of prove ourselves, or you know, like give the best version of ourselves to win over the people that don't know of us at all, you know?
I think that's it. It's like you can't let it be too much pressure or too much kind of like, you can't let it weigh on you, because ultimately that's the way you grow, is by playing to new people and like showing them what you've got to, hopefully when you come back, you know, 10% or 20% or, you know, even more of the people come back and watch you again because they enjoyed what they saw when they didn't know you. So it's good to be playing on a bigger stage, because you hope that a lot of people don't know you so that they can learn to know you and learn to love you. So
come out to our headlines, or whenever we come back next.
Yeah, we come back to Prague. I love that city.
I mean, like compared to the first time we played here, which was in the tent, that was the first show of our festival summer run, and that was like we've been very excited to come back because it was a really, really good show, and already then was a fantastic crowd. So to be on the main stage and seeing how big it is and the potential people that we may play in front of is very exciting. Yeah.
I was actually just about to point to that, because I think that is like such a huge, it's been like an inspiration for so many bands, as well as like, it's kind of like a shining beacon. Like, you know, growing up in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you'd be like, oh, AC/DC, biggest like heavy band that's ever come out of Australia. But from the early 2000s through, it's like, no, like Parkway is now like kind of the new champion. And like for us growing up, we cared about all of the records, and then to be finally like in a position where we're kind of like following in those footsteps, like as you say, there's so many bands that kind of have that exact same inspiration, exact same path, and
they very much like put Australia on the map, but also like showed us younger kids that like it can be done. You know, like we're so far removed from the rest of the world, and to see a band like that, you know, especially at the time, like no singing, just scream, just heavy vocals, breakdowns, riffs, like, well, if they can do it, like the world's your oyster, you know?
And like, I mean, they had their DVDs as well, like showing them like camping out in the middle of nowhere, like in between European dates, and fortunately we never had to rough it that hard. You know, we always had a van to sleep in or something like that. We never camped on the side of the road, but at the same time, like, just to see like what the experience was and kind of like get you a little bit ready for what overseas is going to bring. And so it was always kind of like, they were the shining example in Australia, but they also showed us that it could be done overseas.
Yeah. So. And I think with like the Australian scene, like it is quite a tight-knit community, lost my words.
It's a community.
Yeah, it's like quite a small like network of bands. So like at least I think that we found like when we were paving our way, like no two bands of a similar sound could really like exist, at least at the time when we were growing. Like now the scene is a bit more different. There's a lot more of a broader spectrum of, and like, you know, bands with similar sounds are like existing a lot more alongside each other. But like, you know, if there was two bands that sound like Northlane back in the day, like Northlane was the one that trumped over, you know, you just couldn't exist in that small group. Like.
I think it kind of like encouraged everyone to like have a bit of their own twist on the metalcore sound, which like, you know, we're a metalcore band. Northlane, you could call a metalcore band. Void Division, metalcore band. But like, you play any of the three band songs, and there might be a little bit of overlap, but they're very unique in their own way. Yeah. Thank you for the kind words as far as Australia goes. Yeah, I can't say it's something that we consciously did, but us in our writing, we've always just like, all of us have a say in the music. Like as much as I'll write a majority of the guitars and Dan will write a majority of the drums and like lyrics, like we all have a say in it, and we all kind of vet every single thing that comes through to where once we're happy, we go, okay, ultimately that's good enough, we're happy with it now. we can move it out. And that sometimes takes a month, that sometimes takes over a year to get a song to a point where we're all happy. And I think that's just like the process that we've always like worked with, and so far it's worked out well, where, you know, if we're happy enough with something, we now have a bit of confidence in the fact that I think other people are going to like this as well. So that's just what we've done, and I mean, that's what we'll continue to do. There's no other way for us to write music now. We can't have one person going, well, this is my song, so it's going to go on the record. It's like, if 4 people are going, something needs to change, then ultimately we'll keep working on it.
It's never really been like that.
No.
It's always been such a big collaborative.
Exactly.
Everyone gets to say, everyone needs to be as happy as they can be with each song, with, you know, and with each release as well. Yeah.
So I think that's just what's carried us to this point. And like, yeah, like until we all kind of get too jaded and washed up and stop caring as much, then I think we're always going to be making the best music that we possibly can. So.
Yeah, like I mean, we never expected our first record to be as received as well as it did. I mean, like it's amazing that it was, but like to you know, when we started writing for The Death of Me, it was very much like, well, we put this pressure on ourselves, didn't we? We wrote a good record, now we got to double down on that. And the same thing, I guess, kind of happened with The Death of Me to Now Fatalism. It was like, okay, like
I think that's
it's like more of a pressure on ourselves of like, okay, well, we've got to really meet, like, you know, we've set the benchmark and we've got to top that. We've set the benchmark again, and we've got to at least meet that or top that. Like,
it's something that you can't let it like control you too much, but there was always that pressure, and I think that's also what's fed into us being like collaborative and making sure that everyone's kind of happy enough, because that pressure was always there, being like, we can't let it slip, and we can't let it be lesser than what's come before. So there is always that pressure and kind of motivation to make sure that the next thing you put out will hopefully, you know, trump what you've done previously. So, yeah. I think that kind of comes into what, like, again, like what we kind of all personally enjoy. Like Jamie and I definitely skew more into the heavy sphere of music as far as our personal listening. So when we write a song like a Dissipate or like a Landmine, we're like, okay, this rips, this is sick, like loving it.
Ticks all the boxes kind of thing.
But yeah, like Jake and Daniel have a bit more, like a few more rock sensibilities in their listening preferences. So they'll hear a song like, for example, Dissipate, like writing that song, like we knew we had a chorus hook, but I could have been like, no, just scream on it, it'll be sweet. But like Daniel's the one that has the vision and goes, no, like that can be a great hook over this, and like comes to the table with something melodic. And I guess like in an album sense, we do kind of try to balance it all, where if we do have 3 really heavy songs, we go, well, let's see what we can do melodically as well to push that box, because we don't want one record to come out and be like, this is a heavy record and that's all it's got, or this is a softer, more melodic record and that's all it's got. We want to be always kind of bringing everything that we can to the table and creating it as diverse as we can.
I feel like in the writing process, like you guys are always thinking, where can we get melody into the song, no matter how heavy or how soft the song is. Like, you know, even if it's a more softer song, how can we get the heavy elements in without it ruining that, like the softer vibe or like what we're trying to create. Like we're always thinking in like almost every aspect of what we're trying to accomplish. Like,
because like melody doesn't need to be just vocals either. Like it could be a lead, it could be a synth part, it could even be a riff sometimes. Like sometimes you write a riff and you're like, oh, I'm just singing it back in my head, and it's like that can also tick that box.
That's the hook right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Doodle-diddle-diddle-doo-doo.
Exactly. I think there was very much more of a darker, I don't want to say like heavier, but like I guess heavier tone to the record. I mean, at least me vocally, like there was a lot more of like a aggression, a lot more of like I don't really know how to say it. Like,
I mean, like usually our records will kind of like, as I say, like they'll just pick up like a couple of songs will form, a couple more will form, and we got to like 5 or 6 songs into this record where we're like, well, whatever happens with the second half, this is going to be a dark and kind of heavy record, and we knew we needed to reflect that in almost every way, like whether it was the lyrics, theming, or like the kind of just instrumentation. We're like,
the mood of the songs.
Like, exactly. Like we just felt like the mood was going to be a bit darker, and like being in the period of COVID, there was just like a lot of pent up like frustration and aggression that we wanted to let out. Like we couldn't play shows in so long, we couldn't we couldn't get out there. Like you could barely, you know, open your mouth without, you know, like a lot of other things being thrown your way. So it was kind of just like, I guess it was born from that. And yeah, I guess that was what separated it, because as much as the Mortal Coil and Death of Me have so much overlap in like how dark fatalism gets, we felt like as a through line from the start to finish, there was a lot more aggression, anger, and just kind of like, yeah, like heavy aspects, even if the music wasn't heavy. Like the theming and the kind of energy was always kind of driven from that perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. New music is in the works, slowly but surely.
Yeah, like we usually like, it's usually like an album comes out, then we kind of have the period of like, all right, let's see how it goes. Then it gets like released, and like, oh cool, and then we play some shows, and we're like, okay, it's time to get back into it. And right now we're kind of like fully in the swing of writing, so it's kind of like the rest of this year and the beginning of next is when we'll really kind of fine tune it, finish things up, make sure everyone's happy, as I say, and then see what next year brings us.
Don't want to put any promises out, but you're like, you know, new music is on the horizon. Yeah,
it's always been.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah. Well, like a second home would be like whereabouts in Germany. German shows,
I mean,
have really started to trump, but like
say,
over a lot of different places. But Europe as a whole.
I was going to say Europe as a whole, like Germany as a whole, like almost always turns up for us. France actually produces some wild shows, and it's funny because like France is one of those places that might not be on a tour a few times in a row. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll get there when we get there. And then when we play it, we all turn to each other and go, why have we not been playing France every single time? Or Paris particularly. But London, I think, is like, the first time we played London felt like a hometown show. Like,
I was about to second that with you.
Yeah, so like, I mean, honestly, we're very fortunate in the fact that we have like very good fans in a lot of places. Like Poland the other day, we got off of that show and go, we just don't have a bad show in Poland. And I mean, I think Czech Republic is pretty similar, but we just don't come here as often.
It's a close second for sure. Like, I very much like playing in the Czech Republic, and Prague is my favorite city in the entire world. It's so beautiful. So it's I very much love when we do come over to this side of Europe.
So I guess that's the long answer. The short answer is we have too many great fans to name one particular city. So thank you guys.
I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to get into freestyle motocross, but that never really happened. And skateboarding was a big one. But I mean, right now, I'd probably just be working. I'd be forklift driving, working night shift to do it on the docks or something.
He's good with his hands.
Trying to earn some bank. So
I think I'd have to find something in the music industry at this point. Like, I used to help with the management side of the band, so maybe something like that. Maybe, I know I do like a lot of the pre-pro as well, so, you know, maybe something in the engineering side of things, but
I'd say that.
I don't think I could get out of music at this point, so yeah, here to stay.
Create a bank account, put $10 in each a week. Start that shit early, because that shit helped us when we first started.
I mean, that's what I was going to say.
10 to 15 bucks we did a week or something.
I mean, it was a very long time ago, so, you know, inflation and all that. But, but at the same time, it's like, you know, treat it like a business if you want it to be a business. If you want to just play gigs and have some fun, go out there, play, split the cash, have a good time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
If you want to build it and grow it.
Music's meant to be fun.
Yeah, if you want to build it and grow it, then you'll need to invest personally, and you'll need to reinvest. And eventually, you hope to cross that threshold where it starts paying for itself and you can start worrying about other things in life. But at the same time, it took us 5-6 years of personally contributing, personally growing the business.
Anything really.
Before, we're finally like, oh, we don't need to pay a single cent for merch, and oh, we're actually going overseas and the band is paying for it now. Like it took a long time, but we had to treat it seriously so that we could actually get to the point of doing it seriously. So, fake it till you make it.
Around my house, I cop it a bit. It's not in a bad way at all. It's quite remarkable to, you know, it really catches me off guard. you know, I'll be at the shops with my missus, or even this one morning I remember I was driving out to work. At the time it was like an hour and a half away from where I live, and it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I pull up to a random gas station. I'm like in high-vis worker's outfit, and someone recognizes me in the petrol station. I'm like rubbing my eyes trying to make a coffee, and this guy's like, "Holy crap, are you from Polaris?" I'm like, "What the what?" Like, but it's been a very like natural thing over the years, especially more back home. You know, we get noticed or recognized quite a lot out and about, like especially like in our home kind of area too. Like, you know, we're Shire boys, like, and there's a lot of fans in the Sutherland Shire, you know.
Yeah, I get off pretty easy. Like I've been recognized a total of 2 times in my local area, and that's in the past like years, so I'm pretty chill. But when we go to a show, of course, like that's when, you know, people will be coming up and be like, "Oh, I love you guys, love what you do," and that's when it's like really, you know, nice to see, because you'll just be out at a gig for whatever other band, and to have a fan pop up and be like, "Hey, I care about you guys." It's like, we're not even playing, go care about them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you're here to enjoy them.
But no, it's really sick.